Salutations, everyone. It's been a long time since I've done a video like this, but I'm proud to say I am back and feeling so much more on board with the route that the story is going with Dragonflight. Dragonflight looks incredible, and I am very excited for it. Granted, I only know so much, but I do know quite a few things that are to happen, which are of course subject to change because we're in the alpha, and we're not even in the beta, and etc, etc. And yes, as always, there will be spoilers because of that, so check in or check out if you want those or not. So, randomly, while thinking about all the things set in motion by the latest news, developments, and other things within the alpha right now, a thought randomly occurred to me in regards to one of the most villainous antagonists of all Tauren kind. Magatha Grimtotem. The leader and one responsible for some serious moments in Warcraft, from the very plot and scheme to remove Karen Bloodhoof by poisoning Gorhal right before him and Garrosh's Memento Makara, to the very creation of the powerful relic of the Doomstone that even the Elemental Lords considered too dangerous. Magatha is one nasty character, but one thing might have slipped through the cracks, and I want to discuss what that is. One of the things that really started this ball rolling is the addition of the Grimtotem within Dragonflight. Interestingly enough, the Grimtotem have a massive part to play in the story, specifically when you play as a Dracthyr in the new starting zone and are just waking up. A Grimtotem, known as Kurog Grimtotem, intends to free the Incarnates. And, spoiler, he succeeds. Or at least he succeeds with one of them. These are the major antagonists right now who worship Galakrond, and as far as I know, we really don't know how or specifically why he is doing this and how he knows about them and their location. From my understanding, I do think that some of the Incarnates, or their worshippers or something, are part of the pre-event or something that attacks certain regions within Azeroth, but I really don't know the full details on that just yet. So, why include the Grimtotem now? Is Kurog acting alone? I highly doubt it, as it would seem the other Grimtotems are helping him out, which likely means Magatha isn't too far along either. I started to ask myself then, why? Why now? And it could simply be she has always had a connection to the elements, and these incarnates are basically the same thing. Maybe she wants to ally with these ancient enemies for her own gain, who knows? But then my brain started again turning out the whys. How did Magatha learn about the Incarnates? Why is she freeing them? As far as we know, only the dragons know of this ancient enemy who locked them away for having very differing views and wishing to worship Galakrond over the new order of the Titans. So unless Magatha is sweeping up journals and books from dragons or has some kind of dragon ally in her ear, I kinda doubt she learned this information that easily or from nowhere. It's not to say that she couldn't learn this on her own, but it's rather odd and quite particular with the timing. So I raise you something my brain churned out. Magatha Grimtotem is a black dragon. I know. It sounds crazy and it sounds completely out there, but give me a chance. Black dragons are known for their deceit. They could practically make a dreadlord blush at their own level of taking down kingdoms and clans with their own level of sabotage and subterfuge. Magatha is not that different from the Black Dragonflight and even exhibits some of their traits. She doesn't seem to truly care for the Grimtotems and is using them for her own ends. Something that the Black Dragons do quite frequently is disguise themselves into the ranks of mortals and put themselves on the top. Now, this isn't the only time a person or character has done this in Warcraft that, is a dragon or isn't a dragon, but what I will note is her age and her impeccable timing. Magatha is very old and a very active Tauren. Now, Karen Bloodhoof, another sagely yet old Tauren, was powerful and active in his age, and I don't think that means he or any Tauren who are old and active are dragons. That's silly. but Magatha hasn't even been the chieftain for her tribe yet. And yet she's the boss and leader of it. She's the elder crone, she's the elder, but she is clearly the one in charge of it, and has been for years, and even disposes her tribesmen whenever they prove to be a disappointment. She did this to her husbands as well, and now let's look at her timing. She clearly bides her time and waits to act. Specifically, her timing is impeccable. She acted just before the Cataclysm to dispose of Karen, and the timing couldn't have been better. Thrall was MIA, Garrosh was just set up and put in charge, and the tide was shifting ever so in the favor of the Twilight's Hammer. Now, she could have just been seeing the power shift as a great time to act, yeah. But years later now, I can't get it out of my head just how well timed it was to do this, especially since the Cataclysm was just about to dawn, and you could just contribute this again to her being a shaman and knowing that the elements were in pain and something was definitely about to go down. And while you might also ask, why hasn't she just used her dragon abilities to scorch Bane or the rest of the Tauren when she lost Thunderbluff? But she also lost some of her own tribe when Bane offered them mercy. This is probably the biggest blunder to this theory, but she also could just be biding her time and waiting to reveal such a form. I mean, if Bane actually was threatening her life and was about to kill her, hey, maybe then she would have revealed, hey, I'm a dragon, I'm gonna scorch ya. Everything to me over the years has been rolling this to reveal that Magatha is a dragon. She doesn't necessarily need to be a black dragon either, but something is off with her, and her level of knowledge and deceit is off the charts. She could just be really good at it, or a dreadlord or something, but with this final nail of the Grimtotem acting with the incarnates, makes me think she knows way too much, and that she intends to make use of the old knowledge to put herself on top. It's very telling and very important to the fact that she's the one getting this ball rolling with the incarnates too. It's very, very interesting when I think about that. I will say, after considering this, do I want it? Well, it can certainly be done right and done horribly. I don't know if I want one of the most well-known Tauren villainesses in Warcraft to be made a dragon outright, but I do think that there's a roadmap for it at the very least. And it would be quite interesting to see Bane and, well, us uncover that sort of reveal. For a while, Bane has been buddies with the Black Dragonflight, specifically Ebonhorn, so this could be interesting for him to find out that the greatest enemy and the murderer of his father is also a black dragon, or a dragon in general. Especially since both Rathian and Sibelian are competing for the title of Dragon Aspect for the Black Dragonflight, so why not throw a third or fourth party into the mix to contend for that title? And given her track record, I don't think she's going to earn such a title with any ease with either the Mortals or with the Black Dragons. Although if she's already working for the Incarnates, I suppose it would come off as odd if she wanted the power of the Titans that they so reject. Maybe she's throwing everyone for a loop here. But ultimately, I'm not really sure if I want this either, as I do like her as a down-to-earth type of antagonist who is responsible for the domino effect that is Garrosh as Warchief. Obviously, she doesn't carry the full blame, but, you know, Karen and stuff. But, yeah, so considering I just threw at you guys, not exactly concrete, but just something I guess to consider. It would be quite the bomb to drop on us now, but it would be cool to see her in the spotlight again and to finally be dealt with, as she's been a looming threat for quite some time, and is essentially the Gul'dan for the Tauren as far as I see it. I would definitely like to see justice for Karen. He was one of my favorite characters. With a time skip supposedly inbound, maybe we'll learn just how Magatha uncovered this knowledge, or how she is more than she seems, within the upcoming novel that is the prequel to Dragonflight. But what do you guys think? Do you think Magatha Grimtotem is a black dragon, or a dragon of some kind? Or is she just really good with her timing and has some really powerful connections with the Incarnates? I'm really excited to see just how menacing she is for this expansion, and I hope that she is one of the big bads, like on the same level of Lei Shen or something. But let me know down below your guys' thoughts. If you guys like this video, feel free to drop a like or subscribe. You guys can check out my other social medias in the description. You can also join my Discord where we talk about all sorts of stuff and things. And if you like me enough, you can support me on my Patreon, like these amazing folks here. It helps me out a ton to provide you with these sorts of videos. But until next time, my friends,